Welcome! GGG decided to bless us with another Phrecia event. The previous one was some of the most fun I've had in Path of Exile, so I made sure to log in. I'm going to be playing Bog Shaman because I didn't get a chance to last event. The plan is to be life stacking with the Sanguine Power node, which will convert our energy shield on armor items to maximum life. We will use RF to get through the campaign, and then we're going to switch to a cast when stun setup in maps. Once we get a decent HP pool and make the cast when stun swap in maps, we're going to be looking to farm Ultimatum. This build excels at Ultimatum because of how tanky it is and being able to AFK most of the encounter due to our large AoE. We'll talk more about the Ultimatum strat once we finish campaign. For our first Ascendancy, we are going to be taking Vile Imprecations. This causes nearby enemies to have Malediction, which reduces their damage dealt by 10% and increases damage taken by 10%. A bonus on top of it is we also get an additional curse, which we can use on tanky rares and bosses. Towards the end of the campaign, you're going to want to buy these two items, Immortal Flesh first and Rise of the Phoenix. Look for an Immortal Flesh with decent regen and low minus to all res. If you can afford it, get a cheap Rise of the Phoenix with decent regen. This will be your best in slot shield for most of the endgame. It provides a large amount of max res, while also giving us bonuses for when we swap to Petrified Blood with the low life setup. For our second Ascendancy, you're going to want to choose either Sanguine Power or Eerie Silence. In the campaign, you will be guaranteed a 5-link from the Breach encounter in Act 5 the Slave Pens and Act 6 Twilight Strand. If you don't get a pure ES chest piece from this, you can buy one from trade if you have any leftover chaos. Look for one with no life modifiers so you can take advantage of the 15% life node on the tree. If you cannot get this chest piece, take Eerie Silence, which will be your second curse now to do additional damage. Grafts are very powerful for both damage and defense. For our build, we're going to be looking for any of these 3 grafts. Most importantly, you're going to want a Tender Embrace. This will give you endurance charges. Now for your second graft, you're going to either want to take Heart of the Flame for defense, or you can go Call the Pyre for covering enemies in ash. On these grafts, you can roll useful stats like % fire damage, chance to ignite, or % max life. Now that we finished the campaign, I would say I'm pretty disappointed with the changes they made to Phrecia, adding the gauntlet modifiers and making uniques and rage on low life. This just added extra difficulty with not much reward, and killed a lot of build variety that would have existed on League Start. Let's take a short break and go spend our graft blood at the tree. That's going to make the swap to cast one stun a lot easier now. Now that we got some new currency, let's head to the trade site and start putting together the cast one stun swap. Let's first buy a Detonate Debt of Scavenging. This is going to be one of our triggers for cast when stunned. Next, we're going to buy a Valerium Ring. This is a key component to the build because it allows us to get stunned very easily by swapping our stun threshold from our life to our energy shield. Next, we can just go over to Lily to buy the other gems that we will need. Let's pick up 2 cast when stun gems, a Flame Surge, Flammability Curse, and 2 supports, Ignite Proliferate and Burning Damage. After finishing the swap, make sure to not have the Brine King Pantheon allocated, because this will prevent you from being stunned and make the build not work properly. Since we are using pure ES gear for most of our slots, getting off colors can be difficult. You can fix this with the crafting bench. First, make the item 2 sockets. Then change those 2 sockets to any of the off colors you're looking for. Finally, add and remove sockets till you hit the last 2 colors you're looking for. This will take quite a few more tries, but in the end will be cheaper than chromatics because jeweler orbs are a lot easier to obtain. Finally, we're going to make 2 more upgrades before we start going through maps. A new chest piece that focuses on high energy shield, and a cheap unique called Lori's Lantern, which will synergize well with Petrified Blood. Now that we have the build set up, let's do an ultimatum to test how it does. Perfect, the build is able to do ultimatums. Now we can start focusing on getting the proper idols, then we can start farming divines. Our idol setup is going to be fairly simple. You're going to want 4 Conqueror idols, and the rest minor idols. On your Conqueror idols, you're going to be looking for these 2 mods together. Ultimatum rewards in your maps have a chance to be duplicated, and ultimatum encounters in your maps grant rewards as though you completed an additional round. It may be hard to get both of these mods together, so focus on the additional rounds first. On the minor idol, you're just going to be looking for the mod Ultimatum rewards in your maps have increased chance to be currency items. This will help you get divines. Oh, dupe. Let's do our good one first. Yeah, let's just do it this way. Let it rip. Nice, nice. Alright, we got one. See if we can get lucky again. Nice! Nice! A sacred? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You couldn't have just been nice? I've been good! There we go. Four divines? Okay, okay. Overall, I was pretty happy with Phrecia 2.0. I really enjoyed the Cast When Stun archetype, and I'm glad I played it on Bog Shaman. While the start of the league was really rough, GGG did end up releasing a hotfix which fixed 2 big problems. Reducing the enrage buffs on unique enemies, and also reducing their combinator costs. I'm going to be farming ultimatums for currency, and I'll probably swap to a new build on Bog Shaman. If you want to follow how I progress this character, click the PoE Ninja link in the description and use the time snapshot to see how I changed my character each day. I will also have links to the build experimenter Miracles, who I was following to play this character. Thanks for watching.